Hi everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I recently had my yearly CT scans for my chest, my abdomen, and my pelvis. I did a colonoscopy and some blood work, and the good news is it came back with no evidence of cancer. So that makes 4 years now that I've been cancer-free. So that's pretty exciting. When I was first diagnosed as stage 4, the doctor said that I had, I think it was like a 6% chance of still being alive in 5 years, and that's changed now, where he's actually using the word cured. So it's I'm pretty fortunate. It's usually when it's stage 4, there's no cure. It's just not a matter of if it comes back, it's when it comes back. But in my case, I'm one of the fortunate ones, just on the location of where my tumor was on my lungs, that I have a good chance of being okay. And now I got to figure out what my life looks like going forward. But I was just going to share a little bit about my cancer journey with you, and the lessons that I learned from it, and maybe it might help somebody that's watching this. So with me, I had issues for quite a few years, and with bleeding and pain, and I would go to the doctors, and they kept putting me off. They kept saying because I wasn't yet 50, I was still in my 40s, that I didn't need to worry. And I finally, pushed because I just knew something wasn't right. So they put me on a wait list for a colonoscopy. And when I finally got the call for the colonoscopy, I didn't, so stupid, but I didn't want to bother anybody because you're supposed to have someone come with you when you go for the procedure. So I went by myself, and I lied and said somebody was going to come pick me up, and for whatever reason they believed me. It's a lot tougher now. They want to make sure you have someone with you. But so anyway, I did the colonoscopy, and the doctor came in afterwards to talk to me, and the nurse, and right away there was just this feeling of dread, just the look on their face. And they closed the curtain, and the nurse was like rubbing my foot, and the doctor put her hand on my arm, and they told me they found a tumor in my colon. So and so they found she found the tumor in my colon. At that point, she said that she thought that it was maybe stage 1. And there were definitely options to deal with it. So I went home. I was pretty much in a daze the whole drive home. And after that, at that point, then they sent the tumor off to Pathology, and after that they were able to diagnose what stage I was at, and it ended up, the tumor had breached my colon wall and gone into my lymph nodes. So it put me at a stage 3B, I think it was, which in itself is scary enough. But I did have nodules on my lungs, which my oncologist said everybody has nodules. Not everybody, but a lot of people have nodules on their lungs, and she wasn't overly concerned. So, she said she wasn't overly concerned, so I believed her. And I went for chemo. I think I did 7 months of chemo. I actually struggled with it a little bit. They, she said that because I was young and relatively healthy, they were gonna give me the max chemo. She thought I could deal with it, and I had some complications, so I had to stop it and start it a little bit. But during the chemo, the nodule on one of the nodules on my lung shrunk, which, knowing what I know now, is a pretty good indicator that it was cancerous. And So I kept doing CT scans. I think it was every 3 months, and that nodule started to grow after chemo. And so I went to see they sent me to a specialist, to a surgeon, and he wanted to just watch it. He didn't want to do anything with it. He said, just watch it. So we watched it for a while, and they sent me for CT scans every 3 months just to check, and it continued to grow. And after, it had doubled in size, and the surgeon still wanted to just watch it. I said, no, I want it out. So they booked me for surgery, and it was this one actually they were able to do laparoscopically, so it wasn't too bad. So what ended up happening is my lungs had collapsed, and finally the surgeon came up, and you could tell he was pretty stressed about it, and he ended up taking a scalpel and punching a hole in my chest. And I think this is kind of an exciting thing for other doctors and stuff, because a bunch of doctors and nurses all were standing around watching while he did it. And he punched a hole in my chest with the scalpel and stuck a tube in, and it was connected to a box about yay big. And I guess that was supposed to take the air out of my chest cavity and let my lungs fill up again. So he did that, and but it didn't help. So they kept sending me down to the basement for these scans, and it continued to show that it wasn't working. So finally he came up and was looking, and sure enough, that stupid little box thing, there was a little switch that he didn't flip, and that was the reason that it wasn't fixing my lungs. So he flipped that switch, and then everything was fine, and my lungs filled back up. And so I was in the hospital for about a week, I guess, during COVID. So nobody could come in with me, and I was all by myself, and it was pretty scary. And so I knew work was short-staffed. So after both procedures and chemo, I went back to work way too early, and I was working at the time as a driver examiner. So I was doing a senior re-exam, and that was after they told me that I was stage 4, and the doctor was telling me, find what gives me joy in life, and I had a 6% chance of being alive in 5 years. And so I was still trying to work, and I was doing a senior re-exam, and we were turning left at a green light, and I was distracted and worried about my health, and so the senior's turning left at a green light, and there was someone crossing in a wheelchair. It's just part of the job. Things happen. You take control. It's not a big deal. It happens every day. But I, being distracted, I saw it much later than I should have. I took control. Nobody got hurt, but it scared me. So from that point on, I called my doctor and said, I just can't do this. I can't work. So I've been off since then, and sold the house and bought a van, and separated from my partner, and I've been traveling. I spent the last year just traveling around BC and traveling around Alberta, and it was really good for me. I saw some family that I haven't seen in a long time, and it was exciting. So I now that I've been told that it's 4 years of being cancer free, I'm looking at my life differently. I'm looking at my, I don't know what my life will be like going forward now, and I'm trying to think what I want out of that. And I do know that I really enjoy van life. My view changes every day. This is my view today. It's pretty amazing. And on Vancouver Island right now, the weather is a lot better than it would be through the rest of the province and parts of Canada. It's +7, I think, right now, and you can see it's pretty beautiful out there. So I'm going to stay on the island for probably the rest of the winter, and then maybe in the spring look at where I want to go after that. But I'm going to do some exploring on North Island. I've been up there before, and it's there's some spots that are pretty beautiful. There's still a chance that we might get some snow, so I'm a little nervous about putting myself out too far into the wilderness, where if it snows, I'm stuck for a while. I'm pretty self-contained. I've got solar and in my fridge and my generators. So even if I did get snowed in, I'm good for a month or two if I needed to. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing going forward. But yeah, starting a YouTube channel has actually been a lot of fun, and it's been a good distraction for me. I find I spend a lot of time thinking about what I want to show in videos, and I regret that I didn't take more video footage from this summer because I saw some pretty amazing things. What I'm going to share with you today is when I went through the Fraser Canyon. I grew up hearing about the goat trail, the highway in the Fraser Canyon. It was right along these steep cliffs, and it was a pretty scary drive back in the in the day in the 50s and the 60s. They eventually blasted through and made tunnels to get through some of the cliff faces and stuff. So you're not right along the cliff edge, so it's not so scary. But this summer, I went exploring and I found some of the old highway. People hadn't been there in decades, and yeah, it was pretty amazing. There's one spot I stayed for probably a week, and I was all by myself and no one around, and in the wilderness looking down into the valley, and it was pretty amazing. So I do have some drone footage from that, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. I hope you enjoy it, and any comments, any feedback on anything you'd like to see, I appreciate. I apologize for the drone footage. I'm much better with the drone now, but I was fairly new then, so it's kind of jerky, some of my footage, and it's not the greatest. So stick with me, and it'll get better. And I hope you enjoy the footage. And please, if you like it, click that you like it and hit subscribe. I think I got 43 followers right now, which isn't a lot, but it's something. And the last video, the second to the last video I put up, I think I have almost 600 views of it, which is kind of exciting. It boggles my mind that 600 people have seen me and seen what I've put. But again, YouTube has been, regardless whether a lot of people see it or not, it's been really good for me, and I'm looking forward to when I do go out exploring to be able to make this footage, because it's almost like therapy. To be able to share this and just to be able to talk, and when I was in the Fraser Canyon, I went days where I didn't speak, and it's I don't know if that's so good for me or not, but we'll see what YouTube does and how it goes. And again, please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And another favor I was going to ask is, I'm not sure what to call my channel. I originally put Trader in a Van. But I've changed it to Van Life Day Trader. But I don't know if that's good. So let me know what you think. Either Trader in a Van or Van Life Day Trader, or if you think of something that's even better, let me know. Again, this is all kind of new to me, and I appreciate it. Any kind of feedback. And I hope everyone has a great day. I'm pretty excited about being 4 years cancer free, and my day is going to be great. I'm going to go for a walk along the water. And maybe I'll film that, I'm not sure. But again, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And have a great day.